Everybody, I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan coming to you from the Storm Tracker Weather Center. We have had quite the active weather over the last couple of days with some rain and some snow. In fact, I-84 was closed for a time in the Blue Mountains yesterday evening through this morning. A lot to get to, so I'm going to turn the camera around so we can jump right into it. I hope everybody had a good holiday weekend. I know many folks may be starting to come back to work after enjoying a nice 3-day weekend. Of course, today is Wednesday. Maybe you had the luxury of having Tuesday off as well. But anyway, let's take a look right now outside at Yakima. Some beautiful blue skies being observed at this point. This is in contrast to yesterday at this time when we did see some gray skies and even some precipitation in Yakima. What I will say is that as we go throughout today, I think many folks are going to see some sunshine today, but there's also going to be a fair amount of clouds today and maybe even a chance of maybe some precipitation. So we'll talk more about that, of course, as we go throughout this YouTube live segment. Right now, I want to take a look at the Doppler radar imagery. This is going to be over the past 24 hours. So we're going to walk through a couple of things here. As we got to yesterday morning, well, this should be over the last 24 hours. Hold on a minute. That's over the last 6 hours. Here's the last 24 hours. I was kind of confused why I wasn't seeing what I wanted to see. Yesterday morning, we did have that band of precipitation working through the Yakima area, and that is what prompted those clouds, and again, even some precipitation for Yakima. And then as we went through the day yesterday, you'll notice that we did start to see some shower activity starting to pop up in parts of Walla Walla and Umatilla counties. And then as we got towards yesterday evening, we actually saw some pretty heavy snowfall develop over the Blue Mountains and in parts of Walla Walla County and Umatilla County. I should say the Blue Mountains of Walla Walla and Umatilla counties. Now, it was this very heavy snowfall that began yesterday evening and really continued through the overnight hours that created big problems. Now, as we got into this morning, that precipitation, that snowfall did exit off to the northeast. Still some lingering snow showers around. I did get a couple viewer emails about some snow still falling in parts of Walla Walla County, but for the most part, by the time we got to around 6 a.m. this morning or so, much of the snowfall was out of our forecast area, which was some good news. Now, here's a look at road conditions at the time of this recording at around 8 a.m. This is Dead Man Pass, I-84 at Cabbage Hill. You can certainly see the roadway, although there is still snow and slush on the road, or I guess snow and ice on the road, and you can certainly see all of that snow on the side of the road. Travel conditions generally are pretty good. We did see the road closure. I-84 was closed for a significant amount of time from yesterday evening through this morning because of multiple spinouts due to the hazardous driving conditions due to the snow, and that did create, again, those accidents, and that is why the roadway was closed. At the time of this recording at around 8 a.m., the roadway is now open, which is some good news. Still can't rule out some snow showers as we go throughout today, but I'm not anticipating the very heavy snow that we did endure for a time yesterday. Now let's take a look at high temperatures for today. It is going to be another day of highs generally in the 40s. I would say mid to upper 40s in the Tri-Cities. Low to mid 40s today would be my best guess in the Yakima Valley. I believe the model that compiles this map going a little bit too warm. Mid to upper 30s in the Kittitas Valley for today, with highs into those low 40s for the Blue Mountain foothills. Now let's jump into the future casts, because I know this is what so many folks have been interested in. As we go throughout today, there is going to be a possibility of some pop-up rain and snow showers, and you'll notice that it really is just kind of these splotches that pop up. So certainly many folks are going to escape with a dry and storm-free day, but we can't rule out some spotty isolated showers here and there. This is going to be kind of more convective, which is what we see in the spring and summertime with thunderstorms. So what you kind of see when we're in thunderstorm weather, some locations get some precipitation, other locations don't. That's kind of what we are going to be getting for today. But also on par with thunderstorms, if one of these showers do pass overhead, it could be quite heavy with some of that rain and snow mixture, if not just regular rain or just regular snowfall. So that's something to keep in mind for today. As we do go into Thursday, more rain and snow chances are going to be existing around the forecast area. And in fact, tomorrow morning, we could even be looking at some widespread light snow. That wouldn't surprise me too much before we do see quick transition to rainfall tomorrow afternoon. Something else I will note about tomorrow, daytime high temperatures are going to be well into the 40s, so if any snow does fall tomorrow morning, it will certainly be melted by the afternoon, or at least rapidly melt off for the afternoon. Now let's look at the more long-term storm tracker futurecast on Friday. Some light snow concerns once again Friday morning. So what I would say is that in terms of lower elevation snow, our best opportunities for some of that would be Thursday morning and Friday morning, but it really isn't going to amount to much. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, looking at some snow in the Blue Mountains, that snow Friday afternoon could be heavy in the Blue Mountains with maybe a rain and snow mixture for the Blue Mountain foothills. As we progress later in time, Saturday is going to be pretty calm. Sunday will feature widespread shower opportunities once again, and we could be looking at another round of widespread precipitation possibilities coming on Monday. So how much snow could we see? Well, let's just take a quick look at the model projections of that. It's not going to be a huge amount of snow. What I would say is that I believe the model that compiles these numbers is going a little bit to lean on the snow in the Blue Mountains. I believe the Blue Mountains, once again, could be hit with some pretty heavy snow at times, especially, I should say, on Friday. But so that's something to keep in mind. But in general, for lower elevations, I'm not going to rule out an inch of snow here or there for lower elevations, but it's really not going to amount to much. Again, most folks not seeing any snow at all. For the Cascades, I would say between 3 and 5 inches of snow through the weekend would be appropriate. So again, there is definitely going to be some snow around, but I am not anticipating a major winter storm by any stretch of the imagination. So that's kind of the story. As I flip the camera back around so I can address you guys directly, not a huge concern one way or the other. We might be picking up some mountain snow. Models might start to trend up on some of that mountain snow, especially as we get into the weekend, but that's something that we're going to watch rather closely. Something else I would want to note is that models are suggesting that the mountains could get hit pretty heavy with snow as we get towards the middle to end of next week, so that's something that we are going to keep a close eye on as we advance forward in time. But in terms of lower elevations, not ruling out some snow here and there, but I really am not anticipating much in the way of snow accumulation. So if you're a snow lover, don't get your hopes up too much that we could be looking at any kind of big snow days coming our way. And if you want the snow to stay away, I think you should be feeling pretty good about those chances. Again, maybe some light snow, but I'm not anticipating any kind of big winter storm at all. That could change, and of course, we will keep you updated on air, online, and I do these YouTube lives, usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, barring any special circumstances. So that is kind of the story there. Again, I hope everybody had a good extended holiday weekend, and I hope you all have a great Wednesday coming your way. I will be back to doing one of these YouTube lives again on Friday. So let's flip the camera around one more time so we can get a look at this beautiful sunny sky day over Yakima. Again, many of us seen some sunshine today, but there's also going to be a fair amount of clouds. This is the first time in a while, or at least I should say since I've been doing these YouTube lives, that we're seeing all of that sunshine in Yakima, so that is at least a pretty beautiful sight. Anyway, all of you have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will talk to you again soon.